Hello again, VOTOMS fans. So if you're not aware of what a red shoulder custom is, you can go to this website called mahq.net, and they have a little, statistics on the thing as well as this blurb explaining the history of this particular robot or mecha. Okay, with that said, let's move on to the toy. As usual, this 5 Pro Studios Robonimo. It's like an ammo can packaging. And so there's the mech number. It's called a Scopedog, Original Custom. We got the hinge. We have some, oh, this is put in backwards. I think this is an open toy, so hopefully everything's in there. There's some legal jargon here. And it says here 2018 is when this toy came out. Some credit to the people that designed this thing. And let's get this open and hope it's all there. Well, the instructions are not there. Oh, no, wait. Oh, I didn't even check the other box. I did a review of another one, and I didn't even check behind there to see if the instructions were there. Oh, well, that packaging's all thrown out. Hopefully there aren't any stickers in that thing. So let's see. Well, alright, no stickers, so I don't feel like I've missed out on too much. It's pretty self-explanatory though, there are only so many parts on this thing, so we got this clamshell vacuum form thing, that's in the bag. It looks like it's new, everything is still in the bag, except for this guy's not in the bags, so that's concerning. And then the antenna here is taped down. Alright. Let me readjust the camera here. Rocket pack thing. These are totally new. Our rifle. I get some scissors for this. Alright, so first thing I have to do is put in the jewel beads. And there's two. Historically the beads are a little bit smaller than the recesses, quite a bit smaller in my opinion. But, oh, it's gonna have to do. That one looks centered though. There's some double-sided tape already stuck on here, which is nice. Let me just get some tweezers here. Get the tape off. Kind of position that before I press it down. Not so easy. Ideally the bead would just be bigger, so it self-centers, or the silver optic would have a recess the same size as the bead, right? It's just strange that I have to put this thing into this giant opening and then center the thing. I guess that's good enough. One nice thing about the bead though is it's really domed out, almost a half sphere. And it's got silver on the back, so it looks very reflective. Guess that's good enough. So yeah, that green bead's actually sticking out past that surface. The red is a tiny bit also. But yeah, the light bounces around in there very nicely. Alright, now this antenna here is purposely, I think, a separate piece because if this thing were to ever fall, you know, while you're playing with it or displaying it, or if you have a cat that knocks it over, it'll just fall out instead of break the antenna itself. But I put a little poster board putty in there because it tends to be a loose fit. But I don't think, if this thing fell, I think it would still fall out and not break. But I don't want to test that for sure. Okay, so you saw the optics here can slide in this slot, and you can actually spin these optics, and behind those optics you even have some molded details, which a little paint wash would be nice to have, right? I'm going to take this off because you'll see it's totally see-through, but that's what this little piece of plastic is for, is to block off that see-through part. I mean, obviously you don't need to add this, but I might as well use all the parts they gave me. Okay, I'm going to put the flat side against this ridge. Well, first I'm going to center the optic so it's a little more evenly spaced. I'm going to push that in. Can't see if that's going to stay very long, but I think it gets trapped when you put it back on the head of this guy. So let me try to do that right now. Alright, so yeah, I don't think it can come out because it's literally pushing against that now. But you can see now you can't see through it. Oh, actually you can see a light through it actually up there. Oh, it did come down. So that's the tape is just old, you know, it's not very effective. So if this really bothers you, I think you have to add some glue to this. In fact, this does bother me, so let me come back. That was a horrible experience. It took 10 minutes. First you scrape the tape off, then you pre-curve the thing because there's just too much tension. And even so, it was really hard to get crazy glue, super glue, to stick to this stuff. Look how messy it is. It would have been so much simpler if they just had a ridge right here so the thing would butt up against it, just like it's doing up there, right? But just poor design, really poorly designed. Alright, well anyways, finally what it made it work is it super glued it and then it trimmed off the extra slack, this extra here, and then it just cut off with a hobby knife. And so now there's enough slack here, and yet it's relatively black back there, right? You can't see my finger anymore. Okay, let's pop that back on. Alright. Yeah, it's really strange. They could have also molded a bottom ridge, but they chose not to. Maybe they couldn't do the bottom ridge. Alright, well, that's all closed off, and you can obviously see this visor can open. You can rotate the top of the head as well. And then you can open the hatch, and you'll see there's some bottom details, some boxes and hand grabs. The seat is a nice brown, it's just molded brown. This is gray, two types of gray, some buttons and other molded details there. So now we gotta get the character. This is Vanilla Vartla, the one that actually painted the red shoulder onto this thing. And why are there two heads? Like, why is this? I don't know why there's two hairs. That one fits fine, but this looks... Oh, I see. This one's more like... This is like a normal looking hair, dude. But he has a crazy hairdo like this. Like two giant buns in the cartoon show. So, alright, I'm gonna go with the bun hairdo. Or maybe the bun won't fit in the head, the vehicle. That might be a reason. So the head rotates the arms, rotate the legs, 5 points of articulation. Okay. Let's see, maybe this won't close. Yeah. Also, why is the hatch crooked? So there's the hinge fell off on the back. There we go. But now it won't want to close. I don't know why I'm having so much problems with this one. Other Robonimos are pretty straightforward. Okay, so that's why there's two hairdos. Basically one for outside the vehicle, but if you want this guy in it, you're gonna have to use the round hairdo. Still, maybe no hairdo. It's definitely colliding. Maybe that's why the hairdos are removable in the first place. So this is gonna look a little weird, but I think I literally might have to put the guy with no hair in there. And now it will close. So you can still see the head in there. Yeah, if you look, let me get a flashlight. The top of his head is so close to the bottom of the inside of this, that's why you can't have any hair. So, okay. Well, at least you know, with this thing, maybe you wouldn't notice. Alright. I guess maybe I'll just display this guy outside the thing. I like his hairdo. Alright. Let's leave him outside. And yeah, that hinge it fell off again. I don't know what the deal is. Why is that colliding with something? What is it colliding with right now? Some sort of production tolerance. It's something about the green is colliding with this green here. Alright, well at least a snapshot. Pretty tight seam. Okay, let's do some articulation. So starting with the arm here, you can see there's a ball peg going in there. So you can rotate around, you know, swivel it up and down, butterfly effect. The armor is on a separate pin ball peg as well, so that's nice. That's a better look at the shoulder. And you can also see the bicep has a hinge swivel or whatever. Pop that back on. This is a soft plastic. This armor piece seems like it's vinyl, but the rest of it seems like hard plastic. Okay, so there's a hinge, just a single hinge for the, oh wait a second, it's an awful lot of movement there. Oh, I see, the arm punch is what's giving it extra reach. So what happens is, it collides here, but since that can come out, you can get a really tight bend. I mean, for such a bulky thing. So that's really nice. Then the hands here, they're soft as well. So we'll pop in this little grabby, wavy hand here. Okay, so you can see the softness, which is nice. This little wrist armor can pivot. This little D-ring here can pivot because these things are like helicoptered in on chains. Okay, so same thing on this side, it's just that this one is still soft, but it's painted this nice glossy red, hence the name of this robot. Alright, nice vent details there. They got the hooks to have a backpack, but this doesn't come with one, I don't think. Oh, it does, we'll get to it. And then there's a rotation here. There's some peg-in rectangles. And then all these armor plates will pivot up. Okay. I never figured out what this gray thing is for. I say it every time I review these. I don't know why that's there. I guess just to look cool, I suppose. Alright, so the leg, we can see there's a ball peg in there. And so same thing, you know, a little in-out, a lot of front and back if you move the armor out of the way. Pretty much 90 degrees, right? Well, I guess that collides. So the knee, there's a hinge here, so let me put the leg straight. It can bend not 90 degrees. It can bend a little forward too, but actually I'm seeing if it extends further. And that's as good as it gets. And then the foot here, there's this armor plate gets out of the way, a hinge up there and a ball peg going into the foot, so you can get some rocker, front, back, and rotation. Alright. There's also a front armor piece to help cover up that gap, which is nice. And then this little spike here, pivot spike, will come down if you want. It's painted silver, it's got some ridges in there. So pretty neat. Oh boy, getting it back up is a different story though. Okay. So you gotta have some fingernails to work that thing. Yeah, mediocre bottom of the foot details. That's supposed to be a drive wheel, but it's pretty flat, you know, because it's not a separate piece. It's just part of the molding process. Alright, so you may have seen this thing leg was kind of falling apart, and the reason why is you can put this in the crouch down mode so the pilot can get in easier instead of having to climb up this tank. So this thing comes out, you'll see here, that snaps out, and then you can push this all back. I guess that's as far back as I can get it, right? So this kneecap is asymmetric, there's a little hose in it. So let's pop that apart as well. And get that foot as far forward as we can. Alright, then you put these armor plates back, and this is a footstep. And so that's how the character is supposed to get in and out of this vehicle. It's supposed to step up, grab that, and then hop in. Right. It's kinda, sadly, there's no like kickstand here. You know, it just kind of floats the front end. So that's a little odd, but it is a deformed toy. It doesn't look quite like that image I showed on the computer screen. I will never pose in that down position. I prefer mine to look just like this. Alright, so that's fine. And then yeah, this thing's already coming out a little bit. So that would be really easy to lose if you didn't have that poster putty, in my opinion. Alright, let's look at some of the accessories. We've got the character out of the way. What is this now? Well, I guess they're supposed to come off, so I'll cut this off this molding sprue. It is a rectangle, a really long rectangle. Maybe it'll figure itself out later. We have some ammo packs. We have 3 ammo packs. All identical. There's a little grab handle detail. It doesn't move or anything though. And so that's, you can peg those into these rectangles here. One there. You know, it looks like it's 2 pieces. I wonder if it's glued together or if these comes apart. I think it's glued together. It would have been nice if these ammo cans were a different color, like gray, right? It just blends in. So at least you can paint it easily because they are separate. And it actually is smart. They cleared the rivet there, in there as well. So that's smartly designed. You might want to put some poster putty there, though. Hold on, I got a little poster putty here all the time. You don't want to put it in the peg because then it won't go in too far. But this should work pretty well in keeping that from falling off. And it doesn't mar paint or plastic. It never hardens. It's not a glue. It's just like a soft, rubbery / plasticky putty of some sort. It's meant to hang posters, but I don't think it's meant to destroy posters. Alright, hopefully those will stay. But yeah, you're gonna have to clear it with the arms from now on. So that's fine. So I guess we might as well get into the gun. We have opposite fists and grabby hands, so you can pose. This is looks like a pistol, but this little stock here can snap onto the back here. All right. What goes there? This magazine, probably. No, that's for the different arm. I feel like. Oh, I see. So this hand has the trigger already on it, and that's what snaps up in there. It doesn't really snap, it's just a friction fit. It's also a different gray, which is kind of nice. That's a really tight fit. Or it's just not deep. I don't think that's gonna go anywhere. Let's pop this fist off, I mean. Pop this one back on. Okay. Now this is another piece that seems like it would be easy to lose. I think like this might be smart to actually glue into place, but maybe you want to flip this up the other way so it doesn't collide with the arm so much. Yeah, that might be smarter. But I'm gonna use some putty again. That thing's way too loose. Okay. So yeah, it can rest against the bicep. Alright, there you go. It's nice that it has recesses for the barrels. This barrel, and I don't know what that is, but they're pretty deep. You could add some black paint in there nice and easy, or drill them out even. Okay, this ammo can goes on the gun itself. Let's see if it's a tight fit. It seemed relatively tight. I see. There's some glue marks there, so I do think maybe this is used and the previous owner glued that together. So this is an arm cannon or arm rocket or something, I'm not sure, but it's supposed to go on this arm, I believe. How? I don't know yet. Oh, I think it snaps onto this armor piece on the elbow. So let's pop that out. Hook that around there. I see. Well, you know, actually that seems to want to stay. Pretty decent friction on that one. Nice that there's a recess there, and there's even a recess here if you want to have black paint. Maybe that's like an exhaust port or something. So that's good. It doesn't collide too much with the armor up there. You can even hide part of it. Yeah, alright. Now this side, we can fit a double rocket launcher here. There's red details there in the front, and just deep recesses to add some black paint in there. And that's going to peg into this side of the body. And that seems like a good fit as well. Yeah, so that's good. The last bit, these things kind of join together. So you can see the rocket pod is on a ball peg, so you can get all sorts of movement there. And it's nice that the rockets themselves are painted red, and thankfully it doesn't want to fall apart. Maybe the last guy glued it. Nice deep recesses again, so you can add black paint very easily, or just take a Sharpie, in fact. In fact, I'll do that right now, just to show you. So if you got one of these thin tip Sharpies, and since that's so deep, you can't really mess up. There. It's interesting, Sharpie black isn't really black, it's a really dark, like purple or blue. I've noticed that. I think it looks black because it's meant for paper, and paper absorbs a lot of it. But on plastic, it doesn't really get absorbed, and so that's how I've noticed that. Alright, so that's a nice easy thing to do. Maybe later I'll go over more of the recesses. Alright, so this backpack, the rocket's on this side. I assume this is the top with the dome. I could be mistaken. Let me see if there's anything for it to hook onto. No, I think maybe this is the top. No, it can't be. The rocket pod's supposed to be on this side. Yeah, you want this groove on this side because this gun goes into it. So now I've discovered I need to put this gun in first. So that slides into this. It's really tight. I guess that's a good thing, but it's so tight I need to have something to push that home. There we go. Alright, well that's never gonna fall loose. And then this pegs into this other side of the torso. But I think you gotta get the backpack on first. Or kinda try to get both on. Yeah, so that pegged in. Backpack is on the hooks in the down position, so it's a nice little belt feed into this minigun here. And the front end of the minigun's a different gray than the rest of it, so that's nice. Yeah, very nicely done. I don't know what these are for. What would these two things be for? I don't see any long rectangles on this thing. It must be obvious somewhere, but where? Right? Am I crazy? Well, leave a comment if you see a long rectangle for that to peg into. I don't see it. Call me nuts. No. I don't understand where. It's a mystery. Very strange. I think that happened on my last Robonimo review as well. I never figured it out. Alright, so these are the extra bits you're going to have beyond those two. I'll just leave this guy. I'm going to put those away in a box somewhere. Alright, let's do a few other comparisons. So this is the ones that started for VOTOMS for me, the 1/48 scale Takara Actic gears. So these things have all the same details, but they look realistic to the cartoon. The proportions. It's like a tall humanoid looking thing. But the hatch still opens. I painted the little pilot in there. The head still rotates. The optics still spin. It's just crazy. Even this rotates down. So it's really cool. This isn't actually a red shoulder custom, I don't think. It's got a whole different arsenal of stuff on the back. But this is 1/48 scale. I believe this is supposed to be maybe one. Well, I don't know. I have no clue. I didn't see anything in the box because it's deformed. If you like making model kits, Bandai has some things called Super Mini Pla, and they have a whole like three or four waves of VOTOMS related stuff. So this is a Scopedog of some sort with a crazy lined flamethrower, I think. But I think it might be a little bit bigger than 1/48 because look, I mean if that's 1/48 then it's a Scopedog. I think that's a bigger scale, right? And there's no actual scale listed on the Super Mini Pla boxes, so. But it's small. It's close enough. Maybe I could say this is like a experimental prototype that's bigger. And that hatch opens as well. But these Mini Plas don't come with any pilot figures, so I had to 3D print. Or no, this is just a different 1/48 pilot figure I painted up. So strange though that they wouldn't include a pilot. So going bigger, we have the B25 line of VOTOMS. They only have like 4 robots. But these are really great if you really want to play with your stuff, because this has ratcheting, joints in many places, and also like some of these joints have metal rods. You can see a metal rod up in there. So durability wise seems pretty good, except for I feel like the knees could be better. There's no ratchet here, and the knees have to support more of their weight than the shoulder, right? So and then they have a funky molding process. All this brown stuff is part of the plastic itself. It's like they maybe mix in a random colored pellet of plastic when they're molding these. See, this color is part of this lighter color. It's all just molded as weathering. Interesting. And all these tampo prints were done by B25, not me. These are, just painted by me. That's the car, the way they did it. So that's just a sense of scale. These are supposed to be 1/28 scale, and they still have cartoony characters inside. Let me show you. Oh no, I'm mistaken. It's a little more human looking, but it's still deformed a little bit and quite basic. But it's not as plain cartoony as this. I mean, this is a straight up goofy cartoon. I mean, the TV show is a cartoon, so. Alright, so B25 if you're really gonna play, but look at the size of it, In the space of one B25, I could fit like 4 or 8 of those things. Alright, the last one is from my last review, the round mover, and I have since gone and decaled this one up. So I just had some extra decals from something else. I think it might have been a Robonimo, so maybe these come with decal sheets. I can't remember, sorry. You'll have to look up my playlist and look up Robonimo and see if some of those came with decal sheets. So, but I suspect they do, because the B25s don't, and then these are way too small. So, yeah, these decals must have come from a Robonimo. And yeah, so I put them on, as well as some other random decals from other model kits. So you could swap the backpacks in if you wanted to. They have the same, all these Scopedogs have the same attachment hooks. But I see no reason to do that right now. One day if I get really bored, I'll actually paint a lot of the details, the hoses and all that. And this is what the normal pilots look like. They have like a crazy gas mask and video camera eyes or something. But you can fit the whole thing in there, so. But it's nice. It's nice that they made Vanilla Vartla. He's the comedic character, comedic response in that particular cartoon show. But you're gonna have to probably display him outside the thing, which I guess is fine for me. Alright, that's it for the size comparisons. I guess I'll try to get a few nice poses here. And so this is probably how I'll display it. I guess maybe later I might try to see if I have any more of those decals from the other ones, and I'll add some details to this later. Alright, well, it's another great figure. Naturally, you probably want to try to buy the stuff new if you want everything, but I'm okay with this. I don't know if they have any other ones. As far as castings go, I haven't actually researched it. It's just that I find these randomly as I search the internet. But I've never actually researched the website or anything. If they even have a website, I don't know. Well, anyways, if you like VOTOMS, you can just search my channel. I have a whole bunch of different videos now on this franchise, the toys related to this franchise. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you around. Bye.